budget for 2013. In 2013, we had money set aside for reserves and money set aside also for capital expenditures. Since we had the reserve study done, we no longer have that capital expenditure because all the items that were under CapEx are now under the reserves. That $28 is actually $2 less than what we had budgeted previously, 15 bucks a month for each.
I did not understand.
Okay.
I have one other.
And I should have made that more clear.
I have one other comment. Okay. The strength of marketing, of drawing people, and I have a little bit of background in this area, drawing people in to use your services are the people you have working for you. Do you have in the works, or do you already have plans for a personnel type thing where you have job descriptions, you have safeguards against cronyism and stuff like that? Because having happy people here is important, but having competent people here is important too.
Absolutely, and these safeguards are in our plan, believe me. You know, don't take it wrong. We're not adding $28 or adding, what was the other?
I understood that.
Okay, you did good. Okay, just so everybody else understands, we're not raising it.
Okay, my name is Regis Hopper. I'm down on Black Wolf Run Loop. My wife and I both love this facility. We've been here over a year. I agree to a certain point that we do need some updates here, but my biggest concern is that we're building a church here for Christmas and Easter only. Marketing is the biggest thing here, and a lot of people have said that. People on the outside do not know that they are welcome to come here to eat lunch, to eat dinner, and even to use the golf facilities. So the people that actually live here, it's my understanding that maybe only 30% even use them. So how do we pay the bill? If we don't market this correctly, we're taking out another $600,000 loan. This does not make sense to me. We need to pay our debt down and do this in phases, okay? There's too much ambiguity here for me to be able to say, yeah, go ahead, borrow another $600,000, because the interest rates right now are only 5.5%. But in 2019, the interest rates will not be 5.5%. They will be higher, and probably much higher, and we're going to have to pay back a $2.5 million debt. I cannot buy this with the way it is. Coming here for dinner, there's nobody here. The food is good sometimes, it's not good sometimes. The banquets are good sometimes they're not. I cannot do this thing like that, and I will do whatever I can to make sure it doesn't go through. Thank you.
My name is John Brooks, and I live on Boulder Drive.
I know.
I was a committee for looking out for the interests, since I live here, as making this a better place to live. I have just two questions, please. Can somebody give me the total cost of this project? And what do we thought about if the project is too high? You know, let's say the project comes in with these bids of $20 million, we do this place. What is the price it's going to cost us, and is there a limit that we're going to set on the price?
And let me answer your first question. Your first question is, how much is it going to cost? We don't know yet. We're still early in the planning. We've talked to a construction manager. We haven't hired him yet. But once we hire him, the construction manager will go through all the details that the architect has come up with, and they'll go through each and every item, and they'll come up with a maximum price that this can be built for. We hold them to that maximum price. It won't go any higher than that. $20 million is ridiculous, John. Come on.
I know, I just agree. What is the price that we say that it is?
We don't know what it is yet. There won't be a vote until we absolutely know the maximum price. Once we know that, what usually happens is there's an incentive clause that we give to the construction manager that anything they can save us below that maximum price, we share with various people that are involved in it, the architect, the construction manager, etc.
So we're just saying before the November vote, we'll know exactly what the project is.
Absolutely. I can't even tell you that the $600,000 is what we're going to do. That's just a projection, you know. Things could turn out where we only have to borrow $450,000. You know, we're not going to go over $2 million. Personally, I won't suggest that we go ahead if it's over $2 million. You know, and to answer the gentleman previous to this who actually walked away, thanks, John. If we try to do this in phases, it's going to cost way more than if we do it all at once. And another issue on that that you asked about was that you're looking at this as if it's a business, and it really isn't a business. Our restaurant is not a business; it's an amenity. There's hardly any restaurants in country clubs in the state of Florida that actually make money because it's an amenity. Denny's down the street, that's a business. They have to make money. Ours is an amenity. People know that when they move in here. They want to have a nice restaurant that they can come to. They want to get things at a good price. They want to have a good ballroom. They want to have a nice bar. They want to have a nice golf course. And to do that, it costs you a little bit out of that $220 you're paying each month. So, you know, don't look at it as a business. It's an amenity. If you want to have a nice place, if you want to have it like some of those pictures look there, vote yes. If you don't want that, then vote no. But we're not going to recommend anything that the people don't want to have.
Thank you.
My name is Joe Roberts. I am very much against spending $2 million to improve our facility. Number one, we have basically a nice facility here that needs some window dressing. The restaurant, I've had some wonderful meals here out of that kitchen. I've had some terrible meals, and consistency is the problem. Maybe you better look at it and have a smaller menu. Serve 3 or 4 items for dinner. For lunch, no problem here. Everybody enjoys the lunch. To spend $2 million, I'd rather spend $500,000, reduce the cost of our monthly assessment, and get more people involved. I heard a figure of 30% of the people support the club. I don't think it's that high. When you come here to an affair on, I don't care if it's the Italian club or the club running, it's the same people that are here. It's probably closer to 20 or less percent of the people who support the restaurant bar. Thank you.
I would hope that once we renovate and have a nicer place to go to, that we will attract more of our residents and will attract more revenue. I would also hope, sir, I'll answer the question. I would also hope that by improving our kitchen, we will be able to serve consistent food, and you'll be happy every time you come rather than the occasional time you come.
I'd just like to comment on that.
Yes,
I used to belong to Canton Palms Golf and Country Club, which is an extremely upscale club
Yes,
in
sir.
the Canton area. Their restaurant was phenomenal. 20% of the people maximum supported the restaurant. I lived in California at Mission Hills Country Club. The same situation. 20% supported the club, restaurant, bar. The other people never. And it's not going to change. I don't care if you're going to go play in chandeliers and it won't pay a pumpkin.
thank you. That's not a question anymore. Thank you. Let's move along. Appreciate your input.
Ray, I would just like to say, touch on one thing about, I've heard a lot of things about advertising and marketing. We do have a marketing plan. We have a website which shows the various pictures of all the activities that we have here. We have our banquet menus in there. We generate leads from anyone that's on the website requesting to have parties, weddings, and banquets. I just attended a wedding show down at the Tampa Bay Forum and sat there for 3 or 4 hours showing pictures of our facility and a lot of collateral material. We just redid all our collateral, banquet, and marketing brochure materials. We have beautiful packets that we hand out to prospective brides and people looking to have parties as well. We do market our golf course on Golf Now. You can book your tee time online. We're in several newspapers. We're in several magazines. We do a lot of golf coupons in the newspapers. We do have a marketing plan. Our golf has increased. As far as outside play, people do know they can play here. We do have a lot of golf members, and they pay for the privilege of taking the prime times, and then the public fills in the outside times. So we do have a plan in place. Yes, it probably needs to be honed up and improved if we go through the expansion. But we're going to work very hard on that plan to bring as many people in here as we possibly can to support the place and stop the bleeding of the restaurant.
My name is Don Mills. I live in Deer. I have two questions. There's a lot of numbers going around today. Bottom line, if we go ahead with this, as well as really working on full funding reserves, do you anticipate any immediate or as far as you project any increase in the bottom line, $220 a month fee that we're paying now? That's number one. And number two, before people vote, we've seen a lot of diagrams and pictures and so forth here. And we've seen some pictures from other clubs. And what interests me most is the aesthetics of the place. Those places are beautiful. Will people have a chance to take a look at what this place will look like potentially after the renovations, but before the vote, so you get a real feel? That's nice over there, but it doesn't look like any of those pictures. Let's face it. So, will people have a chance to get a real good idea of if we go ahead with the project?
Let me answer your first question. And I'm speaking now as chairman of the finance committee. I don't see our assessments going up for the next 3 years, and probably beyond that. I told you before, there's no reason for us to increase them at this point. We're strong on the reserves. We're strong on our operating fund, and we have more and more people coming in. And, I don't see it happening. The second part, maybe.
I mentioned earlier that it's really difficult to get really into design development without having talked to membership and really get an idea of what it is that you're looking for from an aesthetic standpoint. We have, however, told the committee that for the November meeting and presentation that we will do a sketch of the new bar grill. It won't be a photographic rendering showing every last little color and detail, but it will give you an idea of the volume of the space and how the bar will be laid out, things like that. We're concentrating on that because we think that that is the most sellable aspect of the club. It's the thing that we think that most people will come in and use on a daily basis. It's what the casual dining environment is the biggest trend besides fitness in clubs in the last 5 years is to go more casual dining. So we will give you an image, and I'm going to say that it's not going to have all those specific details that you'll need to really fully design it, but it will give you a better idea of what the space will look like.
If I can add to that real quick, I just want to comment on the process. Ray asked before, everybody raised their hands. The whole idea of having these meetings periodically through this process is to get your input. And while our consultants, obviously really love their jobs, they also want to get compensated for what they do. So we've done everything in steps so that if we don't feel like we have the community support, we will stop the process and not have to have obligations for additional costs. So we're trying to be prudent in our planning of this whole thing, and that's why we're asking for hand votes. There will be obviously the formal votes will be on paper, we'll talk about probably in the November meeting. Some additional work will be done primarily by the construction manager. We talked to a company to bring on, but again, we didn't want to bring them on until we had an idea of, if we had support, because they obviously will cost some money to do some preliminary estimates and everything for us. So we're doing these things in stages and asking for input so that when we come to the end, we feel like we have a reasonable chance for approval of this, and we haven't spent any more of the association's money than necessary. So that's why, you know, it'd be nice to have all the numbers and know the exact look at the club, but all those things do cost quite a bit of money to, you know, to get all that done. So, as Sarah said, we'll have some concepts of what decorating may look like. We'll have pretty good plans at that point as far as what the floor plans and everything will look like. The construction manager will have gone through them in as much detail. You know, they're not final construction plans. That would be the next step after that. But we'll have a pretty good layout of what the floor plan will look like.